Welcome to Last Day Records Podcast.
Hello, everyone. My name's Trey. This is the Lost State Records podcast. Thanks for joining us. Anyways, so it's been a hot minute since I've done a podcast. Just been busy with doing school. Been finishing school for my audio engineering degree and recording bands. Work a normal job like a regular schlup. But yeah, it's been quite busy label wise. Lost State Records have been pretty slow lately. Just life gets in the way sometimes, and you just don't really have time to put a lot of effort into certain things, and kind of mad at myself for slacking the last bit on the record label, but we got some cool stuff coming up soon. Got a couple albums for some friends bands that we're putting out. Besides that, just kind of cut back on doing a bunch just because money-wise, it's just draining, and we don't have a lot of money for the label. Most of the money I used putting into the label was my personal money, and I just have been really broke lately. Working restaurant jobs during the slow season doesn't pay the bills. But luckily I've been skimming by, but summer's coming soon and it will be nice and the money will flow. Yeah, we'll see. There's not really much I want to talk about. My main reason for doing this podcast was last night I sat down with Drew Thomson from Single Mothers. Drew is the frontman for the band Single Mothers from Ontario, Canada area. Yeah, I've been listening to this band for probably, 2011. Yeah, a long time. They're probably one of my favorite bands, and it was actually super cool to sit down with him in the van and just bullshit. For the most part, I didn't go in very prepared. I was a little busy with homework and such, and yeah, I just bullshitted for a little bit. Just wanted to talk to him, get to know him a little bit. I'll get to that in just a second, but you should make sure to check out Single Mothers. Probably one of the best punk / hardcore / I don't know, they don't really fit in a specific genre, but they are just one of the most rambunctious, fun bands I've ever listened to and seen. They always have a lot of energy. Yeah. So anyways, I'm just going to play the interview I did with Drew in the van. It's pretty short, not too long. You know, it's a show. Everyone's busy doing stuff, but hopefully you enjoy it. And here it is. I don't really have a lot of, I was going to do a bunch of questions maybe, but I was doing a ton of math homework, so I didn't really have time to think of any questions, but I just have stuff in my head I was maybe going to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I've talked to you before. I remember seeing your first show in Santa Cruz, which I've mentioned to you before, which is probably funny. I've told you like 2 different times before about it, but yeah, I saw you in Santa Cruz. I remember listening to your self-titled album, your 7-inch, with some friends back home. Like, I lived in California. I'm from California. Mm-hmm. I've been here about 3 years now, and I remember listening to you a little bit, and I'm like, damn, this band's sick as shit, dude. And then I remember going to that show, and the only reason me and some friends went was to see your band, which at the time I don't think you guys were, not like big, but like you didn't have
we didn't really
probably a following at that point. I just remember going we just went to see Single Mothers. Also, like, Title Fight. Yeah, Title Fight's cool. Like, yeah, like their old stuff. I think at that point they put out Floral Green, which I was like, yeah, I just kind of wasn't that into them. But,
Sure.
And then I remember Were Played, which they got like 86 from the music community because of. I remember. It's so weird. Like they were like talking shit on Twitter to like the band Gloss that's from Olympia because they're like all transgender like women and. Literally just that fast getting just shut the band down, deleting everything, which I've seen happen.
Yeah, they're very like their online presence was very aggressive before that.
Yeah, they were like shit
like,
starters.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember them like they'd be like kind of dicks, which was like kind of funny when you'd like look at Twitter, like just talking shit, which is like. I don't think you do that either. Like, not just talk shit randomly, but I've noticed you usually would post stuff that's, like, pretty funny or, like, playful.
I think that, yeah, we've definitely gone through phases with, like, different members coming in and out and, like, different people kind of tweeting or whatever.
Is it you primarily that you use the Instagram and everything?
Now it is, yeah, but, like, it's gone through different phases of, like, lots of people posting stuff over the years. But we also all used to party and drink a lot more, so it was good. Yeah,
for sure. So you're sober right now, right? You don't drink anymore.
That's right.
Because I remember reading this whole article where you were talking to someone about, I don't know, it wasn't Noisy or maybe Brooklyn Vegan. I don't know. Which, speaking of your new single for Drew Thomson Foundation, is on Brooklyn Vegan
today,
which is sick. I remember hitting up Brooklyn Vegan for. I think I was just a little naive, like. Maybe they'll just like before I even knew how big they were as like a platform.
Yeah.
Hey, like, can you put out like our shit? And they're like, yeah, no, they just ignore us, like my band and stuff. Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? This show, I actually hit the promoter up because I don't know the main dude. His name's Jeff. He runs King Banana.
Okay.
But I know Dylan, who's a guy that works with him, and I was like, hey, can we open for that Single Mother show? Yeah. Like, dude, that'd be sick to open for that. He's like, yeah, just hit up the dude, and he just never talked to me.
Oh, really?
And there's like Goddamn Animals. They're sick. I've actually did sound for them at Hawthorne when I worked there.
Oh, cool.
They're good dudes, and I was just like, that's cool. Like, I maybe a little naive, thinking like, hey, just like throw us on there, you know, like maybe you need somebody. But
I used to do the same thing all the time. I used to always just
hey, can you put my band on?
Can I just play? Yeah, all the time.
There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes where they're like, because my girlfriend works for Mike Thrasher, that that runs Hawthorne. Yeah, that's how I met her at Hawthorne. But
cool, I love Hawthorne. It's a great venue.
Yeah, I remember the one time when I saw you. I didn't see you the next time because I wasn't a big fan of Enter Shikari, and I was like, I love you guys, but I'll probably skip that one.
Yeah, I feel like that's what was a lot.
Also,
of
I didn't have any money. Yeah. But
they're very nice guys.
No, yeah,
it's an odd fit for sure.
I do know the guy that does most of their lighting stuff. He lives here.
Oh, Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah. He used to work at Hawthorne too.
Yeah.
Sean's a sweetheart.
That's how they met Sean, was they were playing Hawthorne, I think, or something, and then their lighting guy couldn't get over, or didn't have a visa or something like that, and Sean like knew all their songs. Yeah, it was crazy. We hung out with Sean quite a bit. You remember Sean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sean was great. Yeah. His girlfriend and mom made us all dinner.
Yeah, that's nice. Are you staying at like somewhere tonight before you go, or are you guys just driving straight to the next town? Where's your next show? Seattle?
Next show, Seattle. Yeah.
El Corazon? No.
I have no idea actually.
I literally just like, oh, you're playing at Blackwater. I didn't pay attention.
Really? Yeah, I never know.
Like, there's no point in paying attention to your other dates because like I'm not gonna be there. So.
Let's see. It is at the Funhouse.
The Funhouse. Yeah, that's literally attached to the El Corazon.
Oh, really?
Which that venue is...
Fuck, we've played El Corazon before.
Basically where every Hawthorne Thrasher show gets booked.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, that doesn't really matter. But, yeah, let's see what's some questions. Yeah. So since the last couple of years, I've noticed that you've had... like just different people like filling in on tour. So I think so far you have the same couple of guys. Besides you, are you in the band right now?
Yep.
What do you do? Are you drumming?
I play guitar.
Yeah,
you play guitar?
plays guitar.
Do you have two guitars?
Peter, like when we were on the Touche tour, played guitar. But he goes back and forth to drums, so he's doing drums on this tour.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. I actually have my little pin from that show.
Nice. Fuck, that was a fun tour. And Riley, so Peter and Riley have been in for about...
Oh, what's up, dude?
Hey guys.
Hey buddy.
Sorry guys.
Oh, you're good, man.
So Peter and Riley have been in for about 2 years now, straight for touring, and Danny kind of comes in and out.
For sure. What happened to your original drummer? Do you still hang out with him?
Well, it depends what you mean by original. We've had like 5,
oh shit, okay.
So,
well, not, yeah.
like our very first drummer.
The one that worked at American Apparel.
The one that.
Because I remember hanging out with him for a minute at that Santa Cruz show.
Matt Bouchard was the Title Fight tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight edge Matt Bouchard.
Straight edge Matt.
Did he work at American Apparel? Oh fuck yeah, he did. He moved to Montreal.
I don't know why I remember that. I just remember specific things.
Yeah. He moved to Montreal. And when we recorded Negative Qualities, he just wasn't for him. Like it, so sure. He went back, and kind of in the middle of that record, like back to Canada, and our guitar player filled in drums, and then we came back to Canada, re-recorded that record fully, and found Brandon Jagursky, who was our drummer for a few years there too. And Brandon still comes in and out. He just doesn't like touring as much. We're a band that
it's not easy to tour.
Yeah, and we don't tour like super full time either. We kind of tour when
I thought you hit it harder when you first were playing, I think. But
yeah, I think like we definitely did. We might have burnt out a little bit, like kind of just doing basements and stuff for a couple of years straight there, and then it's not for everybody. So now we've got a much more laid back kind of like, here are the dates we have coming up for the next while. Who's available to do it? Who wants to do it? Like. Yeah. I'm really lucky Danny,
pretty much like have an open schedule. Like, do you work like a job? Like, you just...
Me?
Yeah, like most people on tour, they're like, I work a job, or like, that's it. I can go on tour.
Jobs.
Yeah.
When I'm at home, I work like 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for sure.
But that affords me the time to come and play for single mothers whenever they ask me.
Yeah.
Which is great, which is fantastic.
I found it hard, like... Yeah, like, I've never been on an actual, like, tour, but, like, this summer I'm touring with my band all the way to LA and back. We're playing a fest down in Orange County. Which that's literally the only thing I've ever wanted to do in my whole life. It's just touring a band, and I just never got that opportunity. And or, like, I was dating a girl, or I was just in a job, and I'm just like, I don't have the time or money.
Sure,
to, like,
absolutely.
But, like, now it's like, okay, I still don't make a lot of money, but I'm like, fuck, I gotta start saving money.
Yeah.
For tour.
Yeah.
It's coming up pretty soon. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good turnout tonight. I did notice, like, the last time when you played at Hawthorne, besides me, there was maybe, like, some people that were like, oh yeah, hell yeah, single mothers.
Yeah.
I basically, like, I love Touche, but I was like,
I love Touche.
I don't listen to Touche a lot anymore, and I literally only went to see you guys for that show. Who else played that show?
Would have been us, Gougeway, Touche, and I think there was an opener that night. I don't remember.
I think I showed up late, but yeah, I went to see you guys, and I noticed, like, it seems like it's funny to think I can read the crowd. Like, I can tell most people are like, who the fuck's this band? Like, I don't really know who they are. And I actually brought friends with me, and they're like, after they're like, oh yeah, I don't fucking like that band, they sucked. And I was just like,
yeah,
what? I love this band. Like, fuck you. Like, don't say that. I mean, I was trying to think, like, stepping out of my own head. I'm like, well, I've already been listening to this band for so long. I'm trying to think of, outside of myself, like, how someone would view this band besides me, because I'm already biased, because I already like you. But I found that this is a pretty good turnout tonight.
Yeah, we're definitely not for everybody, so, like, I'm always impressed when anybody shows up. We never fit into, like, the hardcore bubble, and we never really fit into the the punk scene super well.
Because, like, I feel like if you're like, oh, we're a hardcore band, like, from the start, you would have had to been, like, super heavy, or, like, you would have had to have some characteristics to be like, we're a hardcore band. Yeah. Like, you don't really have breakdowns. I mean, there's some breakdowns in your songs.
And I never listened to hardcore. I never really listened to punk too much. Like, I was really into Bear vs. Shark and kind of, like alt rap and stuff like that.
Alt rap, like what?
Like, I really like the streets, like grime and stuff like that. Like,
oh, grime shit. Okay.
But growing up, I always. It's not that I thought hardcore was dumb. It was just like it wasn't my thing. Like, I didn't really like it.
I never really clicked.
But then we got into that's the nice thing about bands is, like, I got in a band with a bunch of guys that grew up with hardcore and liked hardcore a lot.
So they knew, like, musically how to put that, and then
and
you're like, okay, because I'm mainly singing in this band, like, okay, I'll spit some shit on.
So then they started bringing their more hardcore influence in, and I was like, oh, this is fun to play in. But I didn't know, like, I never wanted to be like a hardcore frontman or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
But they kind of like.
Well, I mean, I'd say you'd fit the profile.
Yeah, I guess
like,
so.
As far as watching you live, like,
yeah,
you could. I mean, I'd say more punk. Like when I first saw you in, like, I think that was like 2012. You guys seemed a little bit more grungy, a little bit more like more just like straightforward, like kind of punk, and a little crazy, not too eccentric. I always loved how. I remember you'd wear your own back patch for like the pentagram dreamcatcher on your back, which I always thought was funny. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, like rep your own logo. Like,
I used to wear Single Mothers merch. I still do. So whenever I'm like out and about, like, I just have so much of it. Like, doesn't matter to me. It's funny. We never take it too seriously. I think it's funny how serious some bands take themselves.
I mean, you have to have, like, you can take it serious, but like don't make it completely serious, because then it's just not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah.
The one thing I was going to ask you too about, I remember when you put out Negative Qualities, I remember like noticing, I think it was Dine Alone in like XL recordings, which I didn't know anything about XL recordings, and then I looked into it more and I realized how big, like, it was like a UK label by this one dude that had like a lot of bigger, like, UK
like
bands.
Adele is on.
Yeah, like Adele and shit. And I was like, Tyler, the Creator and all this other shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how did they get into that? And I think that was basically just for that album. And then since then, I noticed you guys just kind of sticking with Dine Alone, which is sick.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, it must have just been like a one-off, like, hey, like, we'll put this out and see how this does. And then
well, yeah, it was actually an offshoot. So we had a manager, and he had an offshoot label of XL, and then we put out Negative Qualities on that one. We kind of like just had a falling out with our manager, and I went my own way, and they ended up I think they dissolved the label after that.
Oh, so it was like a subsidiary that was owned by XL.
Yeah, it was like
that shit happens all the time.
Like a Matador, kind of like how Matador is a subsidiary.
Or like Anti-Records is like Anti-Records, and Epitaph is like one entity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a sister label.
So it was like, technically it was XL, but it was Hot Charity, which was the subsidiary, and they put out a few good records, but it was never like a full-time label for those guys. It was kind of just like a passion project thing.
Oh, for sure.
And it was fun. Yeah, I really liked XL. I really liked everybody there. It was great. Who we worked with. But Dine Alone, being Canadian, like, Dine Alone are like the biggest Canadian label in Canada, and they're right down the street from me, and I've been working with them for years now.
You live in London?
I live in Hamilton, which is like just outside Toronto now.
Oh, so you're on the other side almost now. Wait, London's... Oh, wait, no, London's on that side. I don't know Canada very well.
No, it's only a couple hours away. Sorry, I gotta help these guys with
merch for sure. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And thanks so much for just taking it. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll see you inside. So thanks for listening to this podcast. I'd like to thank Single Mothers Worldwide for sitting down and interviewing. I'd like to thank Drew, Dan, Riley, all the guys from Single Mothers. It was really cool hanging out. Make sure to buy some merch from them. Make sure to support them. Make sure to support Drew Thomson Foundation, which is Drew's solo project, which he has a new song streaming on Brooklyn Vegan. So go check that out. Give it a like. Give it a listen. What else? Yeah, thanks for listening. If you think of anyone maybe cool that I should interview, email me at treyhannibal@gmail.com. Yeah, check it out. Check out Lost State Records. www.loststaterecords.com. Check out our bands, check out the store, buy something, put some money in my pocket so I can do more label stuff. But yeah, anyways, thanks for listening, and hope you have a good day or night wherever you're listening. I don't know. Anyways, okay, bye.